Yo, my people, what's good? My name is Shaunpowerz. Welcome to another edition of the Eagle Champions. This is part 2. My name is Shaunpowerz from the UK, from Northwest London. And right now, if we go to the phone, I should my boy V. V, what's good?
Yo, what's good? This is Vincenzo. Everyone, welcome to episode 2. We got a special guest today.
Okay, who's the special guest?
Special guest would be Uncle Rob, straight from sunny Las Vegas.
Uncle Rob.
Yo, man.
Yeah.
Welcome, Uncle Rob, man. We're glad to have you on our second podcast. You know, it's a good feeling to have a special guest already. You know, welcome. How is it in sunny Las Vegas, man?
Oh, it's good. I mean, the weather's always good, and just to address the whole having a special guest thing, I was really excited to come on to your podcast because I met Vinny maybe back in December. I was there speaking, and I met him. Thought he was a good kid. He was talking about doing some exciting things, and when I found out about this podcast, I had to be part of it. You know what I'm saying?
For real,
Yeah.
man. For real.
Man.
And so let's get straight to the crunch, guys. So the last podcast we'd done was called Eagle versus Pigeons. And we had some good feedback, V. You know, we got a good few hits and we had a few people. Since then, we've kind of took some of the feedback. We've sorted out the quality. Today's podcast is going to be called, correct me if I'm right, V, positive versus negative.
Yeah, positive versus negative, that's it.
Yeah? All right, quickly, let's kick it off like this. V, what does positive mean to you?
To me, positive is a form of energy. It's a feeling. You're feeling good about yourself. You're feeling good about life. You enjoy what you do.
Okay. To me, positive is a feeling. You know, that positive is like love to me. You know, it's like the same kind of feeling that you get with love. It's a good vibe. It's a good feeling. Uncle Rob, what does positive mean to you?
I mean, I think you both have elements of it in your description. But to me, positive is it's a spirit more. You know, it's kind of a state of being. You know, when a person is positive, no matter what they're faced with, adversity, this, that, and the other, the outlook is instantaneously positive. It's always, it's always the half full, not the half empty. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a spirit that you carry. You know, it's more than an attitude. It's kind of like your presence, your existence is either positive or negative, you know?
Wow.
Most definitely. And, you just kind of hit it on the nail. And even when you said it just now, it's like I just grabbed that meditation because it's true. It is like a spirit. It's like a spirit where no matter what happens to you, once you're on the mission, once you're on the vision, and you stay in that positive mode, when the negativity comes, you just got to keep on bouncing it off. It's like a rhino. I don't know if you guys have heard the story about Uncle Rob. Have you heard of Jerry Clark?
No, I've never heard of Jerry Clark.
Well, Jerry Clark's got this story about the rhino, the rhino having the thick skin that no matter what happens, the rhino keeps bouncing things off, and like, all three of us we're all on a mission in life and we're trying to get somewhere. But the problem is with a lot of people is the fact that they're trying to be positive, but negative breaks them down. Do you know what I mean? Negative breaks a lot of people down. So Uncle Rob, what are some of the things that you use to keep yourself positive?
Well, see, here's the thing. I think that's where the breakdown is. You can't really do things to change whether your outlook is positive or negative. You have to dig deep and find out what it is that you believe that makes you go negative. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's people's negative experiences. It could be a childhood tragedy. It could be that people picked on them and made them feel, less than themselves, so they got confidence issues. Whatever it is, that's the real core of why they're negative. See, people have to fix themselves first because, you get faced with something and then you draw from your reference point. So if my reference point is those negative experiences, then I automatically assume that, you know, it's going to turn out this way. It's going to turn out bad because things have turned out bad for me before. And so what I would do, I mean, because we've all had confidence issues, or we've all had things that drew us to negative, you know, negative experiences with women or negative experiences with other people, whatever it may be. And then we tend to see something similar, and then we go negative right away before we even challenge it, before we even face it. The thing is, just don't predetermine the outcome. We just have to become more comfortable with who we are and what we really want, and just face things head on. That'll be the thing that will stop the negative energy and dig into the true you. And most people, I think, are generally positive, or they want to be, but there's so much baggage. You know what I'm saying? They can't weed through because they keep, you know, drawing onto this negative experience that pulls them in that direction. So, I mean, I think the key is just being true to you and saying, you know what, no matter what happens here, I'm going to do this the way that's most comfortable for me. I'm going to approach this the way that's best for me. I'm not going to worry about what the other people think. I'm not going to worry about whether I make it or win or not. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to go ahead, put on, and see what's what. Because if I'm negative about it, I'm going to fail anyway, or I'm not going to do it, or I'm going to shy away from it, whatever the result of being negative would be. So this got to be better anyway. So I would say just face it that way. I mean, that's how I have experienced things as I've grown as an individual. I just had to face them and say, you know, hey, fuck it, you know, this is what it's going to be. I'm just going to do it.
That's powerful, man. That's powerful. V, have you got anything? You got anything else to add to that, V?
Yeah, that's what I say. That was a powerful thing you just said there.
Very.
And also, I also think that the way you feel, it determines from what you choose to focus on. Because at the end of the day, as human beings, we've got like a spectrum that if we choose to focus on what's going to get us through the day, then we're going to be willing to go for the action and become what we feel. But we keep focusing back on the negative experiences, right, we're going to feel negative at the end of the day. So I think really it's really what you choose for, like affirmations and exactly what you focus on.
You know what? Sorry, go on, Uncle Rob, go on.
Can I add just something, because I want to retract my statement. I said that, you know, it's not an activity that you could do, but after hearing Vinny and I sit back, there is activity that you can do to change your perspective from negative to positive. You need to feed. You are what you focus on, just like Vinny said. So you need to feed your brain with positive things. You know what I'm saying? So if people are in a lot of negative experiences, a lot of negative situations, you need to read positive things. You need to read encouraging messages. You need to be around people that are doing positive and encouraging things. And then that'll start to rub off, because you start to get new reference points. You see what I'm saying? Just like you go back to those negative reference points, now you start to get new information. Your reference library gets a little bit broader, and you can start referencing some positive things and seeing some positive examples. So you can do something. Start reading positive things, going around positive, being in positive places around positive people. You know, that'll make a huge difference.
Most definitely. And you know what? You both of you just now just hit something that is so true to home with me, because the fact that you said, Uncle Rob, you said you have to. I'm a DJ, Uncle Rob, yeah. I've been DJing for so many years, you know what I mean, and I love DJing. And the fact that you just said, you know, when you said it doesn't matter, you know, if you make it or if you don't make it, you just gotta continue to do what you do, you know what I mean, and stay positive with what you do, because sometimes we can bring negative onto ourselves by focusing on the outcome instead of, as you said, focusing on what we're supposed to be doing. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And also, back to you, Vinny, what you said. Sorry to cut you again, Uncle Rob, and come back straight back to you. Back to you, Vinny. Back to you, Vinny, what you said. You're totally right, V. Just last week, I kept attracting some bad things to myself, V. And you know what? All the motivation, you know, me and you love to read. I love to read. I stopped reading. You know, like, I don't know why, but you know, you just think to yourself, okay, I've read enough books this year. I put the books down. I put the motivation down, and everything just started to, you know, some bad stuff I started to attract to myself, and I've started to listen back to my motivations, and I'm reading back, and everything just seems to be cool again, V. You get me? So both of you are bang on there. What were you going to say, Uncle Rob?
Well, I'm going to change what I'm going to say now, because I just want to spin off of that. Vinny knows a little bit about this, and I haven't really pushed my campaign yet, but I will. But I got this concept I call one bucket, right? And you shouldn't be doing anything that's not in your bucket. I mean, the things that are important to you, the things that you're striving for, and things that are not in your bucket. See, everything in your bucket is going to be positive to you. You know what I'm saying? But when you start to let other things in, you're letting them in. That's just like now that energy's in there, you know, it's almost like an infestation. You know what I'm saying? So you got to stay true to that. If it ain't in your bucket, if it's not something you really want to do, it's important to you, it has some bearing on, you know, your well-being and the things that you're trying to accomplish in life, then you really should not be allocating time to it, because really you're subjecting yourself to negative interferences that got nothing to do with you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. This is unnecessary. It's unnecessary negative energy. So that's all. I mean, it just seemed like that was a good thing to add there, because I'm a strong advocate. If it ain't in my bucket, I'm not spending no time.
I like that. I like that.
Doing it. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It just passes by. I don't even spend the energy. Like, if it's something that I hear, whether it be political, whether it be whatever, if it's not important to me, if I don't think that the end result is going to impact me or my family in some form or fashion, I don't even get involved with having an opinion about it. You know, like people get in discussions at the water station or whatever. Yeah, I don't even do that, because now you're letting all these other thoughts in. They got no business in. They got no business in there right now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So anyway,
most definitely, and you know, just going off that fact of if it ain't in your bucket, you know, F it. Yeah. You know, sometimes Uncle Rob and V, things in your bucket turn bad. Like, for instance, you know, there's guys that, I think I mentioned this on the last podcast. A guy finds out his wife's cheating, or you know, I live in a block here, Uncle Rob, and you could walk out this block anytime and somebody could mistaken you and you get stabbed or whatnot. I'm just saying, when something negative happens, this is the twist. It's about using that negativity in order to bring positivity. You know the singer Adele. Have you heard of the singer Adele in the UK? Have you heard of that singer, Uncle Rob?
Yes.
Okay, so Adele, Eric Thomas spoke about this. Adele was making an album, and there was a time within her album when she couldn't find the inspiration, and then her husband or her boyfriend left her and broke her heart. You get me? And then all of a sudden, Uncle Rob, all of these Grammy nomination songs that she's singing was all made from a broken heart. So I'm just saying that spin-off from the negativity to turn it into positive.
Mm-hmm. There's always a diamond in the middle of that coal, or whatever that saying is. You know what I'm saying? You got to break through the coal to get to the diamond. The bottom line is, and I even heard something recently, I think even Will Smith said it, you know, that all of the greatest gifts, all the things that you're going to get on the other side of your fears, you got to break through that. It's almost like the universe says you have to earn what it is that we have coming to you. But you have to get through some things, because you need that education. You need to know, because once you get there, you're going to be dealing with all kinds of things. So these experiences aren't negative. If you're a positive person, once you start to see things in a positive light, once you tap into your true inner you, that spirit I was talking about, once things are positive no matter what, because they're all related, you look at them now, you view them, you assess them, you evaluate them from your perspective of your desired outcome. You don't look at them as what they are. You don't look at it as, I live in a bad neighborhood. You look at it as, wow, I'm supposed to learn how to survive in a bad neighborhood, because obviously sometimes I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have to explain that to somebody. I'm gonna have to teach a kid. For some reason I have to learn this, but I have to learn this in order to get to the next level. It ain't got nothing to do with why somebody else is living better than me or something else. This is what the universe gave me, so my journey starts here. See, too many people compare themselves and they compare their situations, and that's another thing. They get negative juice from that, comparing their situation to somebody else's. But you can't expect to have what someone else has unless you're willing to accept everything about their life too, because you have to be in an identical situation, and that comes with baggage people don't know about too. So your journey is yours. People have to stop comparing themselves to others. You can look at people and say, oh, I admire these things about them. You can even model yourself after people, but you don't need to be comparing yourself to them. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the worst negative energy source possible, because it starts to stir up envy and jealousy, all kinds of shit. And that's why people, are so cutthroat. You know what I mean? They try to find out all these ways because they want something else that really is not their path. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And when they get there, they're not happy. And most of the time they won't get there because it's just not for them. That's not their journey. Your journey starts right where you are. You have to look at that situation and say, why am I here? What am I supposed to learn from this?
Mm-hmm.
Not, oh, it's just too bad for me. It's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to learn from? Because people survive there every day.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And people get out of there every day. Maybe not in abundances, but people get out.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the path? How do I do it?
That's real
So
talk. That's real talk. Anything to add to that, V?
Yeah, I just want to say what Uncle Rob said about comparing yourself to other people. I feel like subconsciously I tend to do that a lot. I know it's a negative thing to do, but you know what I mean? Sometimes, like, when I see someone doing better than me, I tend to think, how does that person do it?
Mm.
And it automatically makes me think that I have to be like that person, or it's rather than starting with me and being myself. So I think that I have to break out of that negative habit.
True.
And start really being in tune with my spirit and building positive habits from there.
Most definitely.
Can we have? I know the format is a little different, but can we deviate a little bit and have a little conversation with Vinny on that, just to explore a little deeper? I think the listeners might get something from the process too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you see someone that has something you might want, and the first thing you want to do is figure out, how they did that. There's nothing wrong with that. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. That's research. Getting information about how someone else got there is going to help you along your journey. It helps you. It can help you, miss some roadblocks and get there a little bit more expeditiously. Not have to make the same mistake. So that's always a good thing. It's just how you interpret that information, because from there, that's all it is. Now you have to see what's applicable for you. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't want you to feel like that's a negative thing. It only gets negative when it's not true to you, when you don't stay true to yourself and your own results. Because what you're looking at a person, you don't really want in my opinion, you don't really want what they have. There's something more about what you see that you want.
Yeah.
You kind of want and maybe you can answer this question. If you give me an example and you tell me what it is that you want. I mean, is it the financial status that you want? Is it the freedom that you want? Is it what part of their life is it that you want? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's mainly that financial freedom, that being able to do what you want, whenever you want, wherever you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Now, so the first thing I would venture to ask you is, how many people have that, and how many different occupations, and in how many different ways that they get it? You know what I mean? How many people have that, whatever that status is? Maybe that's to be a millionaire. Maybe that's to be $100 million heir. I don't know what your level is, but when you get to that level, how many people are there? And how many different ways and unique stories did they get there? When you see that, you'd be amazed. You'll be amazed. There's no reason to not stay true to you, because you can do it your way. I think I may even said it in the thing that anything can be monetized nowadays. I mean, this is an amazing time we're living in. But the key to life and happy life is staying true to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that same thing, because what you're chasing is not their life. You're just chasing some examples. You just want to know how they all did it. You might blend your method. Your method may be, a combination of 4 or 5 people's methods. The first thing you need to look at those people is all they are resources. All they are is examples. That's all they're doing. They're showing you an example of how to get there. But there's no direct or design course that's going to be unique. I mean, it's going to make you happy, but the one that you design, unique to you. That's the only one that's going to make you happy. So
Uncle Rob.
I just, yeah.
Now go on, finish what you're saying.
No, I'm good. I'm done.
I'm saying, you know what? We always hear staying true to. We always hear this line, staying true to yourself. Yeah, and in my mind, I have an idea of what staying true to myself is. But how would you define staying true to yourself? Because sometimes it can get confusing.
That's an excellent question. That is probably the best question that I've gotten without soliciting it. So being true to yourself. I mean, most of the time people think that just means, what I want to do. But being true to yourself is it's more deep. It's deeper than that. What's really important to me. So for me, I mean, I grew up as an only child, for a long time, and I was lonely, So my children, I like being around them. I like spending time with them. So if I'm in an occupation that requires me to be where I don't have the flexibility, I mean, I take my kids to school every morning. I cook them breakfast, and then when I come home, I watch movies with them. I do all kinds of stuff. We spend so much time. We're like best friends. Mm-hmm. If I had an occupation that didn't allow me to do that, even though it made me $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, even if I could buy them all the things that they wanted, that they needed, it wouldn't be true to me though, because I still would not be able. I would still feel empty if I wasn't around to spend the time and all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I couldn't do something, so now it's not just that though. It's not. So some people might say, well, it means I just need to have a job that makes me flexible for that. No, it's more than that, because you also have personal needs. I like attention. Because again, I was the only child. No, I like to be on stage. I want the center of attention. I like to talk. You can tell I like to talk. And so if I'm not in an occupation that allows me to do that, I'm still not true to myself. You see what I'm saying?
100%. That is deep.
So it goes all the facets. What you have to do is kind of go back to all the things inside you that feel empty when you're not happy. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you have to fill those. When you fill all those little holes, then you know all the things about you that are important so that you are happy. Because if you are happy, and it may sound selfish, but if you can't take care of you, you can't take care of anybody else. When you're the happiest, you're the strongest.
True.
You think the clearest, you're the most motivated, you stay the most positive, because all the things that are important to you are taken care of. So whenever you ain't under a stressful situation, you're in a great situation. So it makes it easier to go through all the other struggles and shit that it would take to get where you want to be. Mm-hmm. That's why those are the key ingredients. It has to fill all those holes that are important to you, whether that be friends, family, money, all of that. Now, the money is the last piece of the puzzle, because money doesn't have an emotion to it. It just brings the happiness and all. But if you find an occupation now that you know everything that you need to be happy, now you have to find an occupation. But the occupation will manifest from that. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Because everything that you like doing will start to come up, and it'll monetize, whether it be through a job or whether it be whatever, but it will monetize. You can guarantee it will monetize, because here's one thing that I know. No matter what a person's religion is, no matter what they believe about world and universe and mankind and shit, I'm going to tell you this and tell you this true. There's an energy in the world. And once you are doing what it is you're supposed to do, everything else will start to open up. I promise you, shit will just fall in your hand. You'll just start to see the opportunities come. Because you'll be a magnet. You'll be a magnet to people. You'll be a magnet to opportunities, because everybody wants to share in that kind of happiness. Everybody wants to feel like you feel, because it shows on your face. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So do what you love. It shows on your face, that people start to say, I need to be around this guy.
Real talk, Uncle. That is Yo, you know what? I'm not preaching. I'm not even that religious, but I just feel to scream out "Amen." You know when you see one.
Amen.
Yo, that was real. Now, real talk. You have to do what you love, and most definitely, you know, as you said, you just gotta be yourself and be true to yourself. And you know what, Uncle? I also have children as well. And funny you said that, because the new job that I have. Couple of days it's at 7:00, and before this I was doing the same thing. I was like spending time with my kids, and this new job's kind of messed up some of that time, so that's something for me to really think about. But okay, let's just go off slightly. Vincenzo.
Yep.
what is 2 sources of motivation that you use to keep yourself motivated constantly?
To keep myself motivated and positive.
It could be 2 sources, or it could be 2 motivational speakers, or just give us two people or two books or whatever, something that people can latch onto or people can look into when they're feeling a little low.
Okay, there's obviously 2 things for me is reading. I like to read, and also watching motivational videos.
Okay, so give us a book then. What book? What book could you recommend?
One book that made me really motivated, and it put me in that positive mind frame where I tended to attract a lot of what I wanted, was a book by Anthony Robbins called Awaken the Giant Within.
Yeah, I got that book right here. I ain't finished it yet. That's a good book, though. It's a good book. You know what? Sorry to cut you. You see that book here?
Yeah.
That book, it made me. That book made me call one of my best friends that I stopped speaking to for a couple of years. It made me get really committed at the gym, and it also made 2 of my friends. It made me link back, and that book really helped. What else, V?
What, in terms of what books?
No, the motivational speaker, you said.
What, motivational speakers?
Yeah. Just give us one.
Obviously, apart from Tony Robbins, there's Les Brown.
Yeah, Les Brown. Man, Les Brown's the man. Les Brown's the man, bro. What about you, Uncle Webb?
I mean, I don't know if this sounds a little vain or whatever. I mean, I listen to a lot of people, and again, most of what I take in from other people is information, you know. I mean, it's some good people. Matter of fact, I will tell you someone that I like to listen to. It's Prince E.A. His name is Prince E.A.
Never heard of him.
And most people never heard of him. You know, but you'll appreciate him because he used to be, you know, a rapper. He's like a poet type. But you look him up when this is over. Prince E.A. You look him up on Facebook or YouTube. He got some great YouTube videos. But what do I use to really keep me motivated? I got swear statement. It's this thing I call a swear statement. Everybody needs to have one, at least one, if not more. It's when you swear. It's that one thing that made you feel so bad that you swore you didn't want to ever feel that way again. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, some people, it's like your worst fear, you know. And I remember when, I had a great situation. You know, I was running a business. I was partners with this guy. I was making tons of money. Anyway, we had a fist fight, and it was all over after that. So I had to start over from scratch. And, I had 4 kids, about 3 different women. You know, I was freaking scared, man. I mean, they got expectations. I was living on a PGA golf course, man. They going to gymnastics. They had specialty crap. You know, nobody was going to understand that I couldn't pay for all that, you know, just because I lost my cool, you know, and had a fight with a guy. So, you know, that feeling, you know, I wasn't happy with what I was doing. And and that's a prime example of my life experiences leading to my philosophy as to why you don't chase what success, you know, the picture, you chase what it feels like. But I swore I was never going to be in that situation again. I was never, ever, ever going to feel like that. I was never going to be in a situation where I was not happy doing what I needed to do, making all this money, not happy, and then I could lose it all too. You know what I'm saying? I swore the feeling, that emotion. I was like, I'm not going to do this. I don't want to feel this way. I mean, because you experience everything. You want to talk about feeling afraid of failure, feel afraid of, you know, all of that for nothing and this and that and all the other emotions I was struggling with, you know, along with the fact that Mr. Responsible, the guy that's providing everything for everybody, you know, won't be able to do it. So that is the driving force for me. I grab a hold of that emotion and I say, that's my swear statement. And that drives me. Every morning I get up, no matter how much I have, the fact that I don't ever want to be in a position to lose it is what drives me to keep moving forward. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. And it's going to be different for everybody. Mm-hmm. You know, people should not grab a hold of mine. Look back at your life and say, when was I most sad? When was I most hurt? Explore that. Embrace it, because that's what it's there for. You think it was just there because, I'm supposed to feel bad today. Life's a bitch and the world came down on me. No, it's a fucking lesson. It was there for you to learn something from. So you got to go back and embrace the pain each time. Each time something really fucked up happens, embrace the pain. And the one that you really know, I don't ever want to have to experience that shit again. That one, it should be whatever that feeling is. Let that move you in the morning. I don't ever want to be there. I ain't gonna ever be there. I'm gonna get my shit right because I don't want to ever be there.
When enough is enough. That's good.
Yeah. And that's enough for me. I don't need nothing else to scare me into moving,
Yeah.
It's my own fears. It's my own stuff. And that's the one you carry with you. I don't need nobody's book for that. Although, like I said, this cat is a good guy. Listen to him, Prince EA, and all these guys you mentioned. Those are great guys to listen to. I'm not saying because I listen to motivational speakers all the time. But the thing that really drive you needs to come from within you.
True.
And that's what I use.
100%. That sounds good. The Sawyer statement. I've actually read a book, and that was it just said, promise yourself that you'll never do this again, kind of book. But you know what? I'm gonna mention my two. Yeah. One of them has to be Jim Rohn. Yeah, because one of my friends gave me a Jim Rohn CD. I think I mentioned it last time, and from that CD, this is where all of this came from. Like I never used to do none of this. Like reading and wasn't my thing. You get me? It was just music, streets, and just whatever. But that Jim Rohn CD, thank the Lord that he gave it to me, because at the end of the day, that changed my life. And yeah, another source is really it's my children, innit? I've got children, and I just want to make sure that I'm a good example for them every day. I want to make sure that if my kids are on the bus and they're doing something, that somebody could turn to them and look at their phone and say, "Isn't this your dad? What would your dad think?" Whether I was here or not. This is why I enjoy doing stuff like this, because I want to inspire. You know what I mean? Like a long time ago, I was trying to find my purpose in life, and I thought it was just music, and I thought it was just speaking. I've always loved speaking, but it's like I realized that my purpose in life is to inspire people. You get me? To motivate and inspire people. If that's through music, or if that's through the kids in my area looking and saying, "Right, if he can do it, we can do it." So that's my motivation, and that's my drive in life.
Yeah. So just for me to add to that as a carrot, because who has the space? Who is the guy that inspires people through music and speech? Since those are the three things you love doing. You love music, you love speaking, you want to inspire people with that. You gotta take all your God-given talents together. You know what I mean? Even in this show, you could take this show, you can have a segment where you throw something together that's inspiring. You speaking to your own music, or to some collaboration that you mixed up, with all your DJ equipment, and you speak it to that music almost as if it was, it's a composition now. You're putting it together, and it's almost like a song. But it doesn't have to be in the form of a song. It can be in the form of you talking. But and make little inspiring. You've seen those motivational videos. You can inspire that way so easily. You know what I'm saying? In addition to your podcast. So I just say it's all one bucket. The more you can combine together of what you love, combine it, see how they can all interconnect, the better, the happier, and the more fun shit's gonna be. I'm telling you, it's gonna be fun.
Sounds
doing
good,
it.
man.
It won't be work. It'll be fun. Yeah. So.
And that's what we want to wake up with, V. That's what we want to wake up with, living the dream. What are you saying, V? You been quiet for a little while. You sleeping, man?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
I'm just learning, man.
Bro, that's what it's about. It's really about learning, because sometimes there's something that I learned from working on the radio, and it's when you're speaking to someone, instead of thinking about what you're gonna say next, just listen. You get me? Just listen. Uncle Rob, we're in the UK. We're in the UK. You know what I mean? You're in the US of A. There's a lot of people on Facebook. Can you just just share with us a little bit about what you do? We're not trying to get illegally into your business, but we just need to know a little bit about what you do, what you're doing now. I know we heard you used to rap and stuff like that. So give it.
Yeah, well, yeah. that was a previous life for sure. That was 20 years ago. But now I do quite a few things. I put in trade shows, which is a big deal. I basically produce live events, and some of them are huge. I just put in an event that is the entire bottom floor of the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. So, it's huge events with hundreds of thousands of people that come to them.
Wow.
So I like that. It's pretty fun. But I've been doing it long enough where I can make a living and do that and still have the flexibility to do some other things, because I'm not putting on shows every day now. I just do them. I do the bigger shows, and you don't have to do them every day.
What kind of shows is it?
These are just live events. It can be a convention. It can be anything.
Wow.
Live events that come to Las Vegas. But my big thing is my purpose, my mission, my real activity is speaking and teaching. I've got a philosophy, which is my one bucket philosophy that I want to share with people. I'm kind of doing it more as an educational thing. It's almost like a curriculum more so than an inspirational or motivational thing. These are things that people need to learn. It's just a process of how you tap into who you are, kind of similar things as we talked about today, all the way up to how you should view money and resources and relationships and connections so that they work out for you in the long run, so that they work out for your objective in the long run. So that's what I want to teach. Matter of fact, I plan to come back to London this summer and do my first one, and then I'm going to do a U.S. tour in 2018. But that's what I do. If anybody asks me, I'm phasing the other stuff out and doing that. I want to be a full-time speaker and teacher and mentor type, person. Because I think I'm a better coachy mentor. I'm not, I'll do the big grandstand presentations like Tony Robbins. If I can get that large, yeah, I'll do it. I love to be in front of people. But I think I'm most effective, one-on-one or in a small group where I can really help, where I can really sit down and just talk to people and really help them move forward in their lives. So that's my thing.
Okay, that sounds great. And just for those people that's listening right now, yeah. Like I said, there was a time when I wasn't really into motivational books or nothing like that. Because I'll be honest with you, I just thought that it was just, I didn't really understand it. I just thought to myself, I didn't really see a reason why. Just for those people that's listening right now that want to start, and I don't even want to make it, I don't want to make it sound boring, but just for those people that want to start gravitating towards more, what advice would you give to someone that is in a situation right now, yeah, and they want to do better with their life, but they don't know where to start? They don't know where to start. What would you say to them?
Well, the answer is going to sound silly, but the answer is at the beginning. Go back literally to the beginning. When you dreamed about where you would be when you were a kid and you still had all these dreams in your life, go back there and just remember what they were. Write them down, and remember how you felt. Everything I say is going to tie down into you and your spirit and your feeling. You're chasing how you feel. You ain't chasing success how it looks. Don't chase the pictures. Don't chase the money. Don't chase the cars. Don't chase the women. I'm telling you, they're all going to come. Trust me. I'm telling you. Penthouse, centerfolds and all. I got autographed pictures you can name. I'm telling you, they coming. They all that comes. I'm telling you, that's no problem. Don't chase that. Chase the feeling. Because just like when I was all bottled up with stress and aggression, and I was on top, but I ended up, so frustrated that I fought my partner. That's a bad way to be. That's not I'm chasing the picture, not the feeling. So go back to the beginning. Remember how you felt when you could play all day and you were mad to come home. You didn't want your mom calling you home. You were out doing what you loved doing. Or you were fit that feeling. What makes you feel like that? That's the beginning. That's the beginning of where you want to be. Deciding or finding out, exploring what makes you feel that way. What can I work all day doing and then come home and still do some more and enjoy it, those are the things that you want to pursue. Those are the things that you want to include in your day, in your life. That's going to give you that feeling of euphoria that you chase. You don't chase. Everything else will come. I mean, I don't know how many times I can say it. Anything can be monetized. Everything else will come. This is a day and age where people get on the internet and just dance naked and they get paid for it. You can't even touch them. Who wants to pay for that? But I'm saying anything. Who can imagine that? You know what I'm saying? Hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, I mean, you can do anything and make money. Make sure you're enjoying it. Make sure your life is not being wasted. It was given to you. You know, the universe spent time putting the atoms, molecules together for you to exist. It's a small existence. The universe don't care, but it's got some magic out there for you. There's some stars and shit that connect the dots to a wonderful life, but you have to chase what's important to you. Your DNA is what's important, being in tune to that. You know, so that's where you start, man, at the beginning. It's with you. Stop watching these programs and commercials and shit and being like, start with you. Then you can process the other information. The problem is we're processing this information without knowing who the hell we are.
Real
and then
talk.
we start chasing the wrong shit. That's all.
Real talk.
Just to add to that, would you determine that success is more like a feeling, the way you feel, rather than something physical?
I would venture to say that every successful person would, and I don't know what these people would think or how they feel. I mean, but I would venture to say that the truly successful people, the truly happy and successful people will say that the feeling they get about the things that they can do is what makes them successful. The fact that, you know, I mean, some people get so big that compassion becomes the feeling they chase because the other ones have been exhausted. You know, you feel all the good shit you wanted to feel so good. The only thing left now is compassion. So you start giving shit away, like the Bill Gateses and the Oprahs and all. So yeah, I would think it's all tied to a feeling, because if you're not happy, are you really truly successful? You know what I'm saying? Do you really die on the up or do you die down? You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah, you know, it's deep. Like, it's deep what you both just said. I just got something out of that. I remember the most happy time. All right, for instance, I'll tell you a quick story. Yeah, so my dad's a DJ, yeah, and my uncle's a DJ, and my mum's very popular. She was a singer up until I was kind of born. She was a singer and she was big in Manchester. And then as I got older, she put down her singing career. Yeah. So at the time when I was like 13, 12 years old in school, I was so popular. Like, I was one of the most popular kids in school. I had my radio show when I was 13, and that was the happiest time ever because I was doing shows all over the area. And you see what you just said to me? You just made me think to myself, like, if the 13-year-old could look at me now, would he be happy? Just going off what Uncle Rob says, you know, would that 13-year-old look now and say, this is what I wanted? And yeah, that really made me think, man. That really made me think. Yeah,
because the 13-year-old had a more clear vision of what he wanted than you do. Mm-hmm. See, I don't know how old you are, but let's just say you're 23 now. Those 10 years put so much more shit in your brain. You see what I'm saying? That now it's cluttered. The 13-year-old didn't have all of those diversions. The 13-year-old knew exactly what he wanted to do. You see what I'm saying? But now it get clouded as you get older, and they start feeding you with more and more information and giving you more and more priorities and giving you more and more reasons to deviate from what you really want to do. They start telling you can't be who you want to be doing a DJ. You got to be this. You got to go to college. You got to do something else. You got to do whatever. And they feed you all of this, and you get lost because you don't even know how to process it. You're like, what the hell? Okay. Now you confused, and 5 or 10 more years go by, and you're just like everybody else, searching for what you really want to do.
What you already knew in the first place. I mean, yeah, it's deep,
man.
Say that again?
Yeah, I just want to add to that. You know, you're saying how...
I like the way V keeps saying I want to add to that, you know.
Yeah,
go on.
No, back to what Uncle Rob was saying, that when you're young, you have a certain dream. As you grow up, like society and the media, they tend to feed you what you should be when you grow up. For example, you know, like the educational system, they don't say, oh, when you grow up, like, this is how you achieve financial freedom. This is how you follow your dream. They just say, get these qualifications, get this degree, and then GCSEs, degree, whatever it is, and just work a job for a company. They don't. I feel like when it comes to that, you have to look back into yourself, and also you have to look at other external sources such as books and motivation to show you what do I need to achieve that dream when I was younger.
Okay, but just back to what Rob was saying, yeah. You know, I personally think that schools, jobs, and other things is one of the reasons why, as Uncle Rob said, because look, when you're at a certain age, yeah, you don't. For instance, yeah, you see my son. My son is one of the most influential people in the world, because when he wants something, yeah, he just kicks off and he just starts crying and he kicks off and he doesn't stop until he gets it. And what I'm saying is, nobody taught him that. He has that. Like, he has that. He knows how to, it may be spoiled, but he knows how to get something when he wants it. And what I'm saying is, before we went to school and all that, we had all these things in us. We knew what we wanted to be. So the school, the job, and everything else, even the books, I'm not going to lie to you, even the books, even some of the motivational books that we read, we already knew these things before. It's just that we've kind of forgotten them, and now we're sourcing them back. But we already had these things. So as Uncle Rob said, you got to go back to that 13-year-old sometimes, bro. You get me?
Yeah, but you see, like, all of these things that you hear when you grow up, like, such as school, education. Like, Uncle Rob, this is a question: do you ignore it, or do you just take it with a pinch of salt? Because they're trying to show you what life should really be like. So
yeah. I can. Let me try to give you an analogy. I want to put this like a picture because I want people to see this. Try to imagine it. Everything's a system. You got to look at it like that, and that's why I try to deal with people's state of mind and perspective. It's your perspective. It's how you see it. See, when we go through the system. They make it that way because if everybody did everything they wanted to do, there would be no infrastructure. You realize that, right? There has to be a working class population to keep the economy whole. People have to work at a gas station. Somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do everything. So the more people that comes through the system, it's designed that way. It's designed for the masses, like most asses. That's what I call them, the masses. So most asses will go through the system. Then there'll be some other people that it's designed that way too. Because there's enough information in the system, there's enough get out here, exit doors in the system for the people who's supposed to get out. But you have to recognize the clues, the time, and when. But if you get conditioned all the way through the system and you think like they want you to think, you will work. You will do exactly what you're supposed to be. You will be part of the economy. You will make sure that the infrastructure stays in place. It's designed for that. Not good, not bad. It's just a fact. And that's how people need to look at the world. This is just how you navigate. So if you stay in that, if you go through the process they teach you, you will get that end result. You'll get the same result that most people get. You want a different result, then you have to follow the people that did something different. That's all. And you got to look at all of these things, all these opportunities, all stuff they feed you. Just advertise. It's ads. It's the ad that you recognize that lets you out the door or takes you with direction. That's all they are. Bunch of advertisements. Look at them as billboards. So don't ignore them. Don't ignore them because you know that that's what's down that path. Now, sometimes hey, I probably need to go down that path just for a reason, just to come back. I might have to go down there though, just to learn whatever's down that path. Listening to it and processing it and knowing what's down that path is not a bad thing. But the way you look at it, it's not the only way. It's not this. It's not that. It's not mandatory. As long as you know it's an option, then that's how you take it. That's how you process it. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's true to me, as long as I got a reason to go down that road, then it's perfectly okay. I had some great experiences in college. Do I believe I would have been further along and in a different place had I not gone? Yes. But do I believe that I was supposed to go? Yes, because I went. All those people I met, all those relationships I have, I was supposed to have them, and they start to come back. Just like I said, when you do the right thing, everything starts falling in place. You do the right thing, and next thing you know, wow, Now I know why I met him, because it's a reason. Mm-hmm. Now I know why I met him, because now we about to do something. It's 10 years, 20 years later, you know, and I'm like, oh, we about to do something. So people need to realize that too. Don't burn bridges. Though you meet everybody for a reason. There's going to be an opportunity to come back, and you and that person have parallel paths and journeys that'll intersect again, and you should be in a position to take advantage of it. If you're not, then that's your loss. You know what I'm saying? It's all worked out for you to do what you're supposed to. It's when you don't follow your own dreams and your own stuff that you don't get the reward.
Real talk. Real talk.
Yeah.
I really love the part what you said a while ago about going down to get what you need to get. Like, for instance, okay, I love doing music, because I keep talking about music because, you know, I love my music. Anyway, so instance, yeah, right now I've got a job in a supplement company. Yeah, one of my main reasons to get that job was because obviously it takes money to make money sometimes, and even while you're pursuing your own career, sometimes, you know, you got to pay the bills. Thing is, every day I finish work, even today, I was one of my friends sent me a concert of a singer, and it kind of saddened me because I looked at it and I said, you know, that's what I really want to do with myself. But at the moment, it has to go on pause because I literally need to do some more exams for this job in order to make more money, and I need to make sure that I've just started this new job, so they've sent me on some courses and some exams. But back to what you were saying, Uncle Rob, yeah? It's not about going in that job and getting lost. You have to keep it in your mind. As you said, you got to go there, get what you need, and bring it back. You get me? You know, you give the thing about the bucket. So it's almost like you're putting the bucket in the water to take the water out, to take the bucket out the sea, and you still got the water. Then you're going to use that water to water your plants. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, it's like they go down the road and say, look, I'm going to go and get something, but they get lost down there. So I'm really admiring what you just said, because even myself, I've been working now for about a year, and I haven't managed to put the time that I need to put into my music, or like even my DJing, because I do it so naturally. I'm putting more time into their job than I'm putting into my own work, and it pisses me off every day.
Yeah, and that's a problem, because it's pissing you off. You said it right there. And that's enough to give you all the answers you need. If you're chasing a good feeling, unless you want to be pissed off every day, and that's the feeling you're chasing, then you know that you have to examine that. You can't make harsh decisions. You still have children and to deal with, and a family and shit, but you got to look at it and say, something in here has got to change. What parts of it is it? You know, can I do this and up the attention I give to my music and do them together? Do I have to, modify something later? I mean, you got to just assess it realistically. But as long as you're moving in the right direction, the frustration level will start to go down. You know what I'm saying? As long as you know, wow, I got double the time this week on my music, then the frustration will start to go down. And then there'll be this point where you can live with the situation until it gets to be the way you want to make it, But the key is you got to make it. It's not going to happen. You make the situation you want. Mm-hmm. You have to create it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know the demands on your job. I don't know what they require. I don't know what the flexibility is, but, I don't want to sound, because I haven't met you yet. I will hopefully this summer, but I don't want to, offend you, but, it's up to you. That's on you. You got the time. Mm-hmm. You have it. You just don't allocate it right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know how much time they bought from you. Basically, that's a deal. You made a deal with them. I'll give you 8 hours of work or 10 hours of work or whatever for the amount of money that you're going to take home and deal with your family. That's all you owe them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Now, if the requirement is that you bring that work home and you do some more time that you take away from time that you should be doing some other stuff, then are they paying you enough for that? You know what I mean? Obviously not if you're frustrated, if you feel like you need to be doing your own thing. Mm. So you got to decide, are you giving them the extra time, or do you cut them at the 8 hours? And will that jeopardize your situation or not? If it doesn't, then maybe that's the first thing. You nip them off there. Then the second thing is still some of your own time back. Take an hour. Wake up an hour earlier. Take some of your time and say, you know what, I'm gonna work on some stuff. I'm gonna do something there, even if it's just an hour to start my day off. So I got some rhythm with the day. I'm gonna make a mixtape, or I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do something to work on my music in time that nobody else has. Because some people resent their families, their kids, and all because they want to do things, but they gotta bathe the kid, they gotta clean, they gotta do this, so they start to resent their family. People resent everything that takes them away from what they want, but it's your responsibility to get what you want. It's not theirs. They didn't ask to be here. They didn't ask you to be the responsible person. You just are, because that's what the universe said. The universe said you can handle it. Mm-hmm. You just have to figure it out. But too many times we decide to bitch about it and struggle with it rather than figuring it out. For me, it's just as easy as getting up 3 hours early. I get up at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Nobody else is up. They not bothering me. I can do what I want. Mm-hmm. And then I wake them up at 6:30, and then I start my day. But I don't have to be grouchy. I don't have to do whatever. If I need to record something, or if I want to work on my presentation or write something else for what I'm speaking on, I got 2.5 hours every morning. I don't need no more than that. You know what I'm saying? And I got the balance. You know how productive I am? Nobody bothering me.
Damn. I can imagine. I've heard Eric Thomas say that as well. That's real. Yeah,
it's just a matter of finding it, structuring it, and then taking it back. It's your time. That's the only thing that's really yours. Mm-hmm. Now, they got you believing it's theirs. They got you believing it's institutionalized, that you have to do this at this time and that time. But you did make a deal with the job. You're exchanging time for money there. So you got to deal with that commitment. But the rest of the time is yours. Mm-hmm. It's up to you what you do with it. Whether you eat or watch TV or sleep or whatever, that's up to you. Or deal with your music. Whatever it is, it's up to you. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, you got a kid, you got to spend time there. You got a spouse, you got to spend time there. But it's up to you how you allocate it. Too many people give it to too many places. It ain't got nothing to do with them. So, anyway.
Real talk.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. Nah, it's cool, because you know what? Like, the thing about this podcast is, me and V, we just keep it 100. Whether we talk about ourselves or whether we talk about a situation, like, I would never get offended by anything you say, because at the end of the day, I ain't got no ego in this podcast right now. I'm the gems that is. I know when I listen to this back, I'm gonna say, wow, listen to them gems. How you feeling, V? You good?
Wow, it feels like I went to a private seminar.
Yeah, you're right, man. This is millions of. You can't even put money on this, bro. This is real. This is 100% real.
Well, hey, well, check this out. So since I'm on here, we get a little plug. So I did set a date, Vinny. I'm gonna be there July 29th, Saturday, July 29th. I'm not picked a place, but I'm doing an all-day boot camp from 8 a.m. till like 6 o'clock. I mean, all day. It's going to be like 4 or 5 hours worth of just learning shit that I just, like, you hear what I talk about. Just imagine if I had a whole boot camp to take you through from beginning to end, Mm-hmm. And I'm calling it one bucket time and money, because that's where it ends up. It's up with finding what your purpose is, what it is you want to do, and understanding how to allocate your time, and then also understanding how to deal with your money. And because most of the places I go and people I talk to, the main two problems, I'm saying only two, but the main two problems people say to stop them from pursuing their goals is they don't have enough time and they don't have enough money. So I want to solve that problem first, so that I take all the excuses away. So I'm doing that seminar, and I'm going to do it there first in London, and it's going to be July 29th. So I just wanted to put that out there for anybody that might be interested. I'll start posting stuff, and then I'll give you guys more information. You can tell your viewers at that point, too. But I'm really excited about it. It's going to be good. You want to talk about gems, you need to come check that out.
We going to be there, man. We're going to be...
Vinny's going to be... I think Vinny's going to be in Sicily or somewhere.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Vinny going to be in Sicily in July?
Yeah, but I'm going on the 27th, coming back in August.
Damn,
yeah.
So you're gonna,
but I told him I was gonna record it and send him a copy. So
yeah, wicked. Yeah. Well, I'll be there on your behalf, Vinny. Yeah.
All right, man.
I'll be there on your behalf, guys. We're going into 1
hour.
It's like an hour. I think we got some great gems there. Anything else you want to say, Vinny?
Yeah, I just want to say, when you was talking about you don't regret anything, like you don't, and sometimes when you go through life, let's say you go through college and you say you don't want to burn bridges. Let's say you have certain friends here that you build a relationship over period of time, but they're just negative. They drain your energy. Would you say that that's a good point, a good chance to burn bridges?
I don't know that there's any. Here's the philosophy. I'm going to answer it and say no. There's no reason to burn. I mean, I don't think there's a good reason to burn a bridge. I mean, there's a good reason not to deal with the person, but you could deal with a person without burning the bridge. You can, not deal with them. I'm sorry, without burning the bridge. You just don't deal with them. My point is, if you are navigating your life to work out in your best interests, and then what benefit is it to you to make someone else feel bad just because you're not going to talk to them anymore? What benefit is it for you to make them feel any less about your friendship? You know what I'm saying? Even though you might not feel the same way they do, even though it might be, you can't continue it because it brings negative vibes, but one day they may change. You may see them down the road somewhere and it's a totally different person with a totally different opportunity for you. But if you burn that bridge, if you assume that they are a lost cause, they may not be your cause to fix, but if you assume they're a lost cause, because that's the only reason you want to burn the bridge, I don't see no use for you. No reason I would never need you, so I'm going to cut you out of my life because you're just a bad problem. Yeah, that's the wrong way. That's a narrow thought process. You got to look at it like, whoa, we friends for a reason, but this is not working for me, so I'm going to cut you out right now. But I don't have to do it in a bad way because hopefully you improve, and there's got to be a reason I met you, and I need to wait around for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how I would look at it.
That's real.
You never want to burn a bridge, man, because I'm saying you never want to burn a bridge. You don't know why that person was put in your life.
True. Boy, you know what? I'll be honest, man. I've been listening and I've got a lot of gems, and I'll be honest, for the first time, V, I ain't got nothing to say, man. I say, bruv, like, I'm just happy, bruv. I'm happy that we could get together and really speak about some serious stuff. And you know what, Uncle? I personally, I'm gonna listen to this back, but I got some great gems out of today, and you've left me with something. You left me with some great things to actually think about within my life. You get me? And if I'm the one that is on this podcast, I can just imagine the people out there. We all got some good things to think about, and I'm gonna try my best to be at your boot camp. You said July the 26th. Did you say?
I think it's 29th. It's the
29th,
Saturday.
yeah.
I think it's the 29th. Yeah, I think it's 29th.
Okay.
But I'll start posting. I mean, I'm in touch with Vinny all the time, so you guys will definitely have the information. And I was more than happy to be on. And if you guys, ever want me back, just let me know. Because I love to see young cats doing great things. I mean, that's where the whole name Uncle Rob came from. Some of the guys that deal with my brother. I talk to him just like I'm talking to you guys, kind of like the uncle they never had, the cool uncle that they could talk to anything about and get a straight answer, and not some answer that, the traditional adult wants to give you to lead you in a certain way. And I'm so much older than you guys, but I can still talk the language, I guess, of young people, and they listen to me. So they start calling me Uncle Rob because I'm so old. But it's like the old wisdom kind of teacher dude is my brand now, I guess. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm glad to be on, and I'm glad I could share some information that might help some people.
100%. Uncle Rob, do you have a Facebook or Instagram or something people can holler at you?
Yeah, on Instagram, I'm at the Rob Carter. That's THE Rob Carter, or the. I don't know the pronunciation based on the different regions, but the Rob Carter on Instagram, and then just search Uncle Rob. It's probably the Rob Carter 2 on Facebook, but I changed it to Uncle Rob, and if you search Uncle Rob, I know you get it. I don't know if it comes up the other way, so just search Uncle Rob on Facebook, and that's going to be the primary platform, so that'll be the best place to find me.
100%, man. And yeah, man. Hope when you come to the UK. When you come to the UK, Uncle Rob, what spots do you hit up? Last time you came to the UK, what spots did you hit up?
I was a real tourist, and I didn't have a lot of time. That's why I'm forcing myself to come back. I felt like I was robbed. The trip was just way too short. I really enjoyed the city. I was in London. I think I was in central London. I don't know the areas, but I was all over the underground, and I did everything I could do. until Brandon and them got there. I had about 5 hours. So I went to the Tower Bridge because that's one of my favorite landmarks from afar. I took the little tour down the river, so I saw, the Ferris wheel. I forget what it's called. But I mean, I just saw some of the basic sites. I really didn't get a chance to be an authentic, Brit, So I'm going to do that this time. When I come, I'm going to probably stay for at least a week, maybe 10 days.
All right, I'm hoping that we can link up. I can show you some other little spots that there's some other little spots that people don't really get to see. So hopefully,
right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe you guys can show us around. I think I'm bringing my family too. So show me some sites. We want to know what it's like to. We want to know the real deal. We ain't there to be tourists, but we want to some authentic stuff. Yeah,
100, man. Guys, man, I'm happy, man. V, what you saying, man?
Wow, man. I just want to thank you for coming on to this podcast. It's been a real pleasure.
And likewise, man. I have to double that thank you, because definitely, even when V told me that he was coming on, I was like, wow, V, man, you got Uncle Rob coming. But yeah, I'm happy that it's all happened now, and yeah, it's all good. Second edition, V.
Yeah,
it's getting bigger, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so
I'm glad I can help, guys.
Definitely. But we'll be in touch soon. You want to shout out anyone before you go, Uncle?
No, I'm good. I mean, Elena's out there in the UK, and I mean, all the guys that came to the summit, Leo, Jay. I mean, it's Joseph. It's so many guys we bumped into. Just anybody that came to the Renegade Summit. I just want to say thank you. We appreciate it. I know my brother really appreciates it. Brandon does. I see a lot of them. They're doing a lot of good things. So it was a great bunch of guys. That's why I really want to spend a lot of time in the UK. I think there's a void of this kind of stuff there. So I want to be you guys' guy. So shout out to everybody in the UK. I'm coming, and hit me up. I got you.
100%. V, you want to shout anyone, V?
Yeah, man, just shout out everyone that's supporting. Shout out everyone that came to the Renegade Summit, and anyone that's doing this thing, anyone that's grinding every day, and anyone that's pursuing a dream.
100%.
There you go.
Let me shout out to all the people on Facebook who hit us up. Big up the people them on YouTube. Shouts out to everyone from Harsden, NW10, West London, London. Shouts out to all those from America, because we're going to get some American fans now, man. Shouts out to all the USA squad, and just shouts out to everyone, yeah?
Yeah, you got to send me a link when it's posted so I can put the link on my page too,
100%.
That'll get you some Americans.
And you gotta send V over the picture as well, because what we usually do, we usually get like a big poster, mixtape style, and post it up,
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll do that.
All right then, guys. Well, yeah. Until next time, man. Peace, man.
All right.
Peace out, everyone.
Take care.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.